Hey, do you remember playing birthday party games like telephone or like pin the tail on the donkey? Those kinds of games when you were a kid? Those simple, low prep games weren't just fun, they were actually building key listening and pre reading skills without us even realizing it. But today, a lot of our students are missing out on those kinds of activities. Like, think about it. Nobody really has birthday parties at their house anymore. It's like, let's go to the sports field, or let's go to the pool, or let's go to the movies. And we don't have those same, like, birthday party games necessarily anymore. So, why not bring some of them into the classroom with a few tweaks to help develop phonological awareness in a fun, engaging way? In this video, I'll share 5 simple, no prep listening games that will get your French primary students excited about learning sounds, and I've got a free resource for you at the end to make it even easier. Hi, I'm Madame Andrea. I'm a French primary teacher in Nova Scotia, and did you know that before students can read and write in French, they need to be able to hear and identify sounds within words? Also true for learning to read and write in English. These listening skills are the foundation for phonemic awareness, decoding, and spelling. But the good news is you don't need complicated prep to develop these skills, just quick interactive games that your students will love. Let's jump into the first one. The first game is called D'où vient le son, or where is the sound coming from? The focus of this game is on auditory discrimination, or directional listening. What you're going to do is you're going to choose 4 students to be noisemakers and have each of them sit in different corners of the room. The rest of the class sits in the middle with their eyes closed. You are going to point to one of the noisemakers in their corner and they're going to make a sound. So you might want to choose the sound ahead of time so you don't have like screaming hyenas, but they could make like an animal sound, they could shake a tambourine, they could use a word that you choose, what have you, but they're just going to make some sort of noise. And the rest of the class with their eyes closed is going to point to the corner that they think the sound came from. Then, once they get it right, you're going to just swap the noisemaker with one of the students who guessed correctly. This game seems really simple, but it helps students focus on identifying where sounds are coming from, which is an important skill for developing strong phonological awareness. Game number 2 is called Entends-tu le son, or do you hear the sound? The focus of this game is on identifying phonemes within words. What you're going to do first is choose a target sound. So like s, etc. You're going to show a flashcard with the vocabulary word, like not written down, but like just a picture of it. So if the word is written down, you're going to want to cover it up because the students should just see the picture. And you're going to say the word slowly. You're going to ask students to listen carefully and decide if the word contains the target sound. So like anywhere in the word, do you hear the sound for example? So in the word like mouton, do we hear the sound oui? In the word vache, do we hear the sound no? And then your students can just respond with like a thumbs up, thumbs down. They can say oui or no. And we're just going to sort the vocabulary cards into 2 groups, those that contain the target sound and those that don't. So especially when you're getting started, I suggest keeping the same target sound for the whole game. So if you do like letter of the day or what have you, you can sort, you can use your letter of the day and sort all the cards like oui or no. It contains that sound. You want to keep this quick with just like 10 to 15 words max, but it's an easy way to introduce phonemic awareness without overwhelming your students. Game number 3 is a classic birthday party game, le jeu de cellulaire, or the telephone game. So the focus of this game is precise listening and sound retention. In order to play, you probably know, but just in case, to play, you're going to have your students sit in a circle. So I have mine sit on the perimeter of the carpet. And you are going to whisper either a letter sound, an animal word, or a simple word, like 1 to 2 syllables to start, into the ear of the student next to you. Each student is going to whisper the sound to the next student until it reaches the last student. The final student says the sound out loud, and then you kind of determine was it the same as the original or not the same as the original. Once your students get good at this, or if they're a little bit older, you could do, like short sentences and then longer sentences. But the game builds careful listening skills and can later be expanded. So it's nice that you can, expand the game as your students' skills expand and as they gain confidence throughout the year. Game number 4 is called Qui fait le son, or who made the sound. And the focus of this game is identifying individual voices and distinguishing sounds. So For this game, you're going to have your students stand in a circle. You're going to put one student in the middle and you're going to blindfold them. Then you're going to choose a student in the circle to make a sound. So it needs to be a sound made with their voice, like not a tambourine shake or anything like that, but like an actual sound or a word said that is in their own voice. And they're not trying to disguise their voice. They're just using their actual voice. And then the blindfolded student is going to guess who made the sound and from which direction. If they are correct, they will swap places with the student who made the sound. This sounds easy, but it's like trickier than you think sometimes when you're blindfolded to pick out whose voice is whose, especially if the word is short. So if your students are struggling, pick a longer word or get them to say a whole sentence, and that should help. This game strengthens auditory memory and awareness, both of which are key for phonemic development. Then our final game, game number 5, is called Où est l'animal, or Where is the animal? The focus of this one is on differentiating between loud and quiet sounds. I played this one a lot with my students. They really enjoy it. The first thing you're going to do is choose a toy animal, and you're going to hide it somewhere in a room. Like, choose a toy that, like, it's easy to make their sound. So, like, I think I used a vache, like a cow, one of those little farmer plastic toy things that is in the shape of a cow. And you're going to hide it somewhere in the room, and you're going to choose one or two students, like before you hide the animal, choose one or two students to be the farmers, and they are going to actually leave the room when you hide the animal. So everyone else in the room sees where you hide it, but not the two farmers. Then you're going to bring the farmers back in, and it's their job to find the hidden animal. The rest of the class is going to give clues using sounds. So the closer your farmers get to the animal, so you're going to want them to stay together, not separate. The closer your farmers get to the animal, the louder the rest of the class is going to make the animal sound. The farther away that your students get from the hidden animal, the softer your other students are going to make the animal sound. The farmers are going to just follow those sound clues to try to find the hidden toy. So it's kind of like the hot-cold game, like, oh, you're getting hotter, you're boiling hot, but it's with sounds instead. You can rotate through different animals as well to reinforce new vocabulary. So if you have like a set of farm animals, this is a great way to practice the names of the animals and, animal sounds. These games work because they help you incorporate listening-based phonemic awareness activities into your day. So they don't have to be complicated. They don't have to be time-consuming. These games that I've shared today are like no prep, super easy to implement. For one game, you just need like a stack of picture vocabulary cards. For the other game, you just need a toy animal. But they're still super engaging and interactive. Your students are going to have a lot of fun with these. They're perfect to slide into your day if you have, like 5 minutes before recess or 5 minutes before an assembly or what have you. And they're just a really natural, kid-friendly, appropriate way to reinforce phonemic awareness and vocabulary. And best of all, your students are going to have so much fun, they won't even realize that they are learning. So I do have like a cheat sheet for these games if you want to have something printed out with like printed out instructions for the games. So you can download that via the link in the description below and start using these games in your classroom as early as tomorrow or today if you're watching it early in the morning. So again, head to the description below to grab the link to the freebie. Just pop your name and email in and I'll send it to your inbox. And let me know in the comments below which of the games you're excited to try first. Or if you've tried some of them, let me know which ones your students like best. I think my students prefer the, like that one where we hid the cow and they had to like moo. They were really into that game. But I actually really like the one where you blindfold somebody and have a student say a word and they have to guess who said it. Because it's a lot harder than you think depending on the word or sentence that you get them to say. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like it, subscribe for more teaching tips, and share this video with a fellow French teacher. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video next